Yo, what is up guys? It's Pedro here, and in today's video I will be talking about the Washington football team's offense and evaluating them and Scott Turner through the first 3 weeks of the season. Talk about things I liked about the offense and some things that have been disappointing. So if you guys are new, make sure to subscribe for Washington and NFL content. Also hit that like button and turn on those notifications so you never miss a video. Also guys, make sure to check out WinView with the link that's on the screen right now, or also the link in the top of the description. WinView is the nation's leading sports predictor, allowing you to compete in pregame or live contests against other people, not the house. And you guys can go ahead and join my league right here. All you have to do is send me your ID and I can invite you to the league, and we'll have a competition, and I'll get a prize for you guys at the end of the season. We'll set that all up. You answer 8 questions during the game or before the game, and new users get a first time deposit bonus of up to $200, and you play your first $20 risk free. So make sure you guys check that out. Let's get right into the video. Okay, so far the Washington football team's offense, at least statistically, has been below average in most categories. In yards per game, I didn't, count it out exactly, but I believe they're around 20th or 21st in the league, and around the same for points per game. Week 1, they went against the Chargers defense. Not great, not bad. They did actually, do a solid job against the Cowboys and also the Chiefs. So they're actually a decent defense. Then they played the Giants, who so far, haven't been a great defense around. Not great. They allowed over 20 points to the Broncos, allowed 30 points to us. They did do a good job against the Falcons and the Bills, who have a really good defense. So, pretty balanced opponents. But I would say they've been playing above average defenses, and they've been, slightly below average. And, honestly, this is what I expected, at least in the first few games, especially considering we do not have Curtis Samuel. We've already had a quarterback change, which definitely complicates things, because, Scott Turner and Ron Rivera going into the season are thinking, Ryan Fitzpatrick is their starter, and, they're going to have Curtis Samuel on the field. And obviously that didn't happen, and, it changes things up a lot. And I know there's a lot of different opinions on Scott Turner. Some people absolutely hate him, and, some people think he's okay and really want to see more from him and want to see him, be the coordinator for a little longer and see, what he can do. Because, last year really was limited with his quarterback play. Had Haskins for most of the season and Alex Smith, who was hampered, with that leg injury at the end of the season. So we really didn't get to see what Scott Turner could do. And so far, I know there's a lot of people calling for Scott Turner's job. That is not me right now. I'll read this tweet right here. I actually agree with it. He says, although Washington is preventing guys like Antonio Gibson and Terry McLaurin from posting numbers indicative of the level in which they're playing at, Scott Turner isn't on my list of problems right now. Offense can't get on the field. When they do, they're trailing. And I definitely agree with that. Every single drive so far, this year, the defense has allowed a long, a touchdown drive to start off the game, which, puts the offense in a bad situation when they're already trailing and they barely get to go on the field. In that Chargers game, the Washington football team offense was barely on the field because the defense just couldn't stop the Chargers the whole game. And really same thing with the Bills. And there's definitely some things I think Scott Turner needs to work on. Like, we need to give Terry the ball more. Try to, even when you're playing against an elite level corner like Tre'Davious White, try to find ways where you can get him the ball a little bit more. Some, screens, some other ways. There's things you can do to get him the ball. And Antonio Gibson, our offensive line has been much better than a lot of people thought. And, they've been really good in the run game. And I think Gibson needs to get more carries. I think that'll help our offense out a lot. You look at our offensive line, they've been much better than I thought they were going to be. I thought we were going to be good this year, but I thought it was going to take at least a few weeks for us to gel, just because we have 3 new starters on the offensive line. These are stats from the game against the Bills. Charles Leno allowed 1 pressure and 1 QB hurry. Eric Flowers didn't allow anything. Same thing with Chase Roulier. Brandon Scherff allowed 3 pressures and 3 hurries, and Sam Cosmi allowed 1 pressure and 1 hurry. They've been playing really well so far. With the Chargers game, their pass blocking wasn't great, but their run blocking was really good the first 2 games. A little worse in the 3rd game, but still not terrible. And, their pass blocking was much better against the Giants and the Bills. I've been really impressed with this offensive line. Sam Cosmi has been getting better and better. I really think we hit on that 2nd round pick. Obviously, time will tell. We need a bigger sample size, but he's looked good. We know what Brandon Scherff is. He's had some penalties. He needs to work on that. Same thing with Cosmi. He's been good, though. Same thing with Chase Roulier. Eric Flowers, no penalties this year, and I haven't heard his name much, so that's great to hear. And Charles Leno, he's had a couple whiffs, but for the most part, he's been playing pretty well as well. Charles Leno, Brandon Scherff, and Sam Cosmi all ranked top 10 at their position, either tackle or guard in run block win percentage, at least through the first 2 weeks of the season. It hasn't been updated so far for week 3, but the offensive line has been better than expected through the first 3 weeks. And, that's why I think, Scott Turner needs to give the ball a little bit more to Antonio Gibson. I think Gibson's been good this year, first couple weeks, averaged over 5 yards per carry. Didn't really get that many carries in the last couple games. I think that needs to change. He's, you're probably your second best he is your second best offensive skill player. You need to get him the ball more, and I think that will help out the offense. But, also, I know people hate Scott Turner. People don't really like Scott Turner a lot, but, he's been, there's been times where he has a great play call, schemes it up perfectly, and the offense just doesn't execute. I mean, the interception with Heineke in the against the Giants, I think Antonio Gibson was wide open in the flat, but Heineke went to McLaurin, and that really ruined things there. Obviously, Heineke redeemed himself after that with a game-winning drive, but that's an example right there. Another example is, I think it was 3rd and 7 in the 3rd or 4th quarter, and, Scott Turner dials up a nice play. De'Ami Brown, is wide open and, would have gone 5-10 extra yards, and he just drops it on 3rd and 7, and that just ruins the drive. Against the Bills again, we're, solid so far the first couple of plays, and then I think it's 3rd down or 2nd down, and Taylor Heineke throws a great pass to Logan Thomas, who's wide open, and they get past the 50 in Bills territory, and Logan Thomas fumbles, which just stalls the drive. The turnovers are really killing us, and so is the defense. The defense isn't able to get off the field, which, limits the amount of time Washington can be on the field, which really is unfortunate. But I do think Scott Turner needs to target Terry more, needs to target Antonio Gibson, or needs to give Antonio Gibson the ball more in the run game, but also in the passing game. Gibson got targeted twice in that last game. One was, a 73-yard touchdown, and one was one at the goal line where he dropped it, but still, he's open. Both of those open. One resulted in a 73-yard touchdown. The other, if Gibson would have been able to catch it, would have also resulted in a touchdown. So Scott Turner is scheming up some things. They're all, of course, there's those, plays where you're like, what are you doing? That De'Ami Brown, I forgot what it was, but I know De'Ami Brown lost like 4 or 5 yards on a play. I didn't like that play call, and, he does need to give Gibson the ball more, and there's some things he definitely needs to work on, but you also have to think, the quarterbacks that he's had last year, and this year, he does like Taylor Heineke, obviously, but that's not even one of his top choices, because if it was, he would have been on the roster last year earlier than he was, and not just as a quarantine quarterback. I think once we get Curtis Samuel back, hopefully in the next couple weeks, I think that'll open things up for the offense. I think that will, Curtis Samuel will be playing in the slot, will be playing on the outside, and, if teams decide to double Terry McLaurin or give him, have some safety help on him, then that's going to, Curtis Samuel is going to be open, and it's going to be hard for teams to put all their attention on Terry McLaurin because Curtis Samuel is going to be on the other side, and if they start putting attention on Curtis Samuel, then Terry is going to make them pay. So I'm excited, I'm really excited to see Curtis Samuel on the field and how our offense looks with him on the field. I think that'll help us out a lot. So far, haven't been super impressed with Scott Turner. Also haven't been, been very disappointed so far. Want to see him, more with this offense, with Taylor Heineke, and eventually with Curtis Samuel once he comes back. I don't think anyone expected this offense to be a top 10 offense this year. And especially now that, Fitzpatrick was out and also Curtis Samuel was out, I think that where they are right now is probably what I would, expected, slightly below average, especially with the guys that are out. But I think by the end of the season, it wouldn't be, unreasonable to expect them to be around average or below average. And, if you would have told me that this offense is average before the season started, I would definitely take that because I thought our defense was going to be a top 10 defense or even better. And that is not the case. Let's see if, the defense can turn around and the offense just has to get a little bit better. And I think that will really help us out. And Curtis Samuel coming back will definitely help. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys did enjoy the video. If you did, please hit that like button, subscribe if you guys are new, and turn on those notifications so you never miss a video. And yeah, check out WinView, and peace.